set of wheels, one set of 10 wheels on the train came off the tracks. So it happened in the yard where trains are operating at a slow rate of speed.
Well, this obviously is concerning that this might happen at another part of the system. Why did this happen?
So we are doing a review as to what specifically happened in this occurrence. What's important to note is that our systems, our staff, and all our resources responded appropriately. And in this specific occurrence, as I said, slow rate of speed, no injuries, no major impact to the vehicles or the infrastructure.
Troy, the train came off the track. It's great that there's no injuries, but that's a fairly serious occurrence this late in the construction system.
We don't take any occurrence lightly. We take them all very, very seriously, and that's why when this occurred, we immediately ceased launching additional trains onto the track. We have 5 trains out on the line right now that are operating without issue. So we had this occurrence, we need to do our review, look at what happened. But that's why we immediately ceased operations, because we want to see. But we are still in our testing and commissioning operations, and we are still going through that right now.
Is it derailed or is it back on?
Right now it's been re-railed, and they're just doing some final inspections to get it back into the yard so they can do a more detailed inspection into that train right now.
How many entrances is there to this yard? Did it back up other trains?
In that specific location, yeah, it would have backed up other trains, but we do have other redundant...
Okay. Start over?
That's right. On this system, we do have certain locations where we do have redundancies where trains can transfer from one track to another. This did cause a bit of a bottleneck for us, but as I said, safety being our priority in this case, we immediately ceased launch operations so that we can focus on what happened, that review, and rectifying it.
Troy, I hate to ask this, but how are people supposed to have confidence that the system is safe? It's supposed to be finished by next month, and it came off the tracks.
It's in a yard environment, these things can be an occurrence, but it's important to note that in any rail system you could have this occur. But once again, our systems, our people, our resources responded appropriately, and we're taking the necessary corrective steps. You've heard John Manconi at the commission meetings, the council meetings, saying, when it's safe and reliable, that's when we'll launch. And we're working through these things, but we are still in testing, commissioning, and that's something that we need to keep in mind.
Does it seem safe and reliable to you tonight?
No, this is a minor setback. We have to look at it, but keep in mind, you can see the train there. You've seen the picture. It was one set of wheels that came off the tracks. We need to look at what happened there and close that off. But I don't want people thinking that this is a situation where a train was, derailed is a very technical term. It did derail, but it's not a situation where you had trains that were, on its side. And that's what some of the initial reports we were hearing was, do you need a crane to come in and load this train back on? And you can see right here, that's not the case.
And what would be the impact if there were people?
If there were people on this train,
yeah.
we have evacuation procedures in which we would have loaded people onto another train or gone through an evacuation a different sort of way.
Just to be clear, it means that the train basically lost its wheels.
One set of wheels of 10 on that entire train came off the tracks. The remaining 9 sets were all perfectly aligned on those tracks.
Is it automated here? Is the train automated? So when it was coming into the station, or the
train in that location would still be in manual mode. They were doing some movements. As I said, we were going through our testing exercise at that point. So that train was about to launch, but then we were bringing it back into the maintenance storage facility. It was not backing in. Trains do not back up. They always go in one direction. The operators have the ability to go from one cab to the other. So we were doing some testing exercises, at that time. As I said, we were going through our launch activities.
Can you describe the test that was happening? What exactly you guys were doing today?
Well, this morning we were simulating what our launch was going to be like, right? So every morning we have a certain number of trains that go out and we do what they call sweep trips, where they travel at slow speeds and they make sure there's no obstructions on the line. Then it's followed by a ramp up in which we have to, in short order, launch a successive number of trains to get up to meet our service capacity standards. So we were going through that process, and we like to inject little things here and there, little tweaks or little issues that our operators would need to experience and respond to. We're going through those processes today.
Well, is this going to delay the 12-day consecutive testing?
So there is an update at coming in the next FedCo meeting next week.
But was this 12 days?
There's an update coming on the trial running and all that coming to the next FedCo meeting.
It hasn't started.
This is part of our testing commissioning activities.
Sure.
With our first story that came up, that people are saying, wow, how can we, believe that the system will be safe when we see the wheels come off? I realize it's not a super serious issue, but what can you tell people of Ottawa about the system that's supposed to be done within a month, we hear?
We're taking every effort to make sure that the system is going to be that state-of-art system that the residents and our customers have paid for and expect. We're doing our due diligence, and that's what our customers expect, right? Is that we do our due diligence. So when we have incidents like this, that can, as Mr. Jacob said and myself, that can occur anywhere. When we have these incidents, it's important for us to make sure we do a detailed review and we make sure we know exactly what happened and if there's any gaps that we need to close. So we're going through that process. But when this system launches, we know it'll be a safe and reliable system for our customers, and that's everyone's goal.
And when is the 12D testing starting? The 12D. When is it
So
starting?
there's an update coming at FedCo next week.
But John
Next week.
McConey already told us it has to start by about mid-May or it's not going to be finished.
There's going to be an update.
There'll be an update.
Let's go.
Okay, thank
Anybody-
you.